Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Ancient Path Remnant. I am doing a very impromptu video. Yahuwah is really putting on my heart about the priestly calling, about what that entails. I've been talking about the Gideon's army, and I believe that those two things are connected. The priestly calling, the Gideon's army, raising a royal priesthood, raising an end-time remnant army. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight or today, whenever you watch this. And but first I want to say be on the watch at Branches of Yah, his channel, and we have a video coming out soon when Branches is able to get that out. And so keep on the lookout for that. We discuss some of the things that I'm seeing about this season of time and what Yah is showing me and moving forward. And he talks about some of the things he's seen and putting things together for this time period. And he's really calling us to, for me right now, to work in the vineyard and to, do my work during this season, during this winter season. So to do more spiritual work during this season. So I plan to be talking a lot about the priestly calling, the Gideon's army, raising up his remnant army, and also there's so much to discuss about that, about where he's leading us. I talked about him leading us to green pastures if we'll do this work during this season. The signs that I'm seeing, the things he's calling us to, and also how we can be healed. His favor will be upon our homes. There's a lot that he's moving his people into. And also I see that he's kind of bringing together the tribes. You'll notice that he's kind of slowly bringing together the remnant tribes. So people will be drawn to their tribe. That's why you may see little separations of people within the community, is that he's bringing them to their particular tribe. Eventually, it'll all become one house, but right now he's bringing the body together in parts. So that's kind of interesting, and he's having me focus on this priestly calling and the royal priesthood. So let me talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to practice my Hebrew on you. So bear with me on that a little bit later. So we see in Revelation, or Hazon, let's see, we've got Revelation 5, Hazon 5, starting at verse 9. And worthy and deserving are you to take the scroll and to break its seals. We're talking about Messiah. For you were slain and with your blood you purchased people for Yahuwah from every tribe and language and people and nation. So this is all people. All those people who are grafted in. Who is Yasharel? It's all the people who've been either grafted in or naturally born, but they must be born from above through the Ruach HaKodesh, and they must be in covenant with our Creator, obeying his instructions. And continuing, you have made them a kingdom of royal subjects and priests unto Yahuwah, and they will reign on the earth. So we also see this calling in Exodus or Shemoth in 19:5. And now if you diligently obey my voice and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession above all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a reign of Kohanim, priests, and a Kodesh nation, set apart nation. Those are the words which you are to speak to the children of Yasharel. So we can see that if we are Yasharel, who are the people of Yasharel? Those grafted into Messiah, natural born or grafted in from the nations, any people who have come into covenant and have been born from above by the Ruach HaKodesh. So you have to have the covenant and the Ruach HaKodesh. By the power of the blood of our Messiah, we get grafted into the same house. All of us. And even those natural born ones have to be born from above. It has to be a spiritual birth from above. So then we see in Let's read Yashayahu. Well, actually, let's start with Numbers. Bimidbar, Numbers 6. Now, I find this really interesting because he's talking about the Nazarites here before he talks to Aaron, about the priestly benediction or the priestly prayer that he puts on the people. So let's look at this. Numbers 6. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yasharel and say to them, When a man or a woman separates by making a vow of a Nazarite to be separate to Yahuwah, he separates from wine and strong drink. He drinks neither vinegar of wine nor vinegar of strong drink. Neither does he drink any grape juice, nor eat grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation he does not eat whatever is made of the grapevine from seed to skin. All the days of the vow of his separation a razor does not come upon his head until the days are completed for which he separates himself to Yahuwah. He is Kodesh, set apart. He shall let the locks of his hair of his head grow long. All the days of his separation to Yahuwah he does not go near a dead body. He does not make himself unclean for his father or for his mother, for his brother or sister when they die, because his separation to Yahuwah is on his head. All the days of his separation he is Kodesh to Yahuwah. And when anyone dies beside him in an instant suddenly, and he was defiled, the head of his separation, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day he shaves it. On the 8th day he brings 2 turtle doves. Well, see, we don't do the turtle doves and things like that. We do spiritual offerings and sacrifices. So each person their body is the temple now. It is the kahal, or the mikdash, the temple. Our body is the temple. And so we worship in spirit and truth within ourselves. And so we offer spiritual offerings and sacrifices, which is also obedience. So our actions follow what our heart's desire is to do. And so when we offer Yahuwah offerings, we do it with all our heart. And this is what he really wants, people who are humble and contrite before him. So if we set apart our lives through this Nazarite vow, remember, it's a very serious vow to take, but it's very similar to what the priests had to do. When priests are on duty, the priests were on duty, they couldn't drink any alcohol. Well, and the interesting thing is, they weren't always on duty. So if our bodies are the temple, and we're supposed to be worshiping him every day, should we be taking in any alcohol? Because if we are priests unto him, we're called to be a royal priesthood, and he says he'll make us a kingdom of priests, then should we have any alcohol at all, or any of these other things? Now, I was thinking about it. Some people are concerned about taking the Nazarite vow, which is understandable, but one could abstain from all these things, like the alcohol, the vinegar, the grapes, the raisins, grapevine, anything from the grapevine, from the seed of the skin. Any of that, someone could just abstain from that and still, I believe, be called to this priestly calling. But it's something to consider. Is it that, since we worship him in spirit and truth, our body is the temple, and we're to keep our lamps lit every day and offer our offerings through this spiritual offering and sacrifices with all our heart? Well, then if we are a priest unto him, and women also, because we have to be responsible for our thoughts, our words, our actions, our deeds, how we conduct ourselves, and how we offer our sacrifices and offerings to Yahuwah. No one can do that for us. And on the day of judgment, we'll all stand there before him and be responsible for ourselves. So, man and woman. So, it doesn't change the order in the home. It just means that each person is responsible for their own actions and deeds and choices. So, but it does bring to light the fact that if we're called to be priests unto Yahuwah, and offer these spiritual offerings and sacrifices in our bodies or the temple, should we have alcohol or any of these things? Because then in this same chapter, in Numbers 6, it continues on, and it says in verse 21, "This is the Torah of the Nazarite who vows to Yahuwah the offering for his separation. And besides that, whatever else his hand is able to provide, according to the vow which he takes, so he shall do according to the Torah of his separation." And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, within this same chapter, it just finishes about the Nazarite vow. And so, if we are Yasharel, if we are his people, whether grafted in or natural born, we all have to be born from above. We all become one house. We become a people. So when he's speaking to Aaron and his sons, saying, this is how you barak, or place the favor for the children of Yasharel, this is how you barak the children of Yasharel. Say to them, Yahuwah barak you, or favor you, and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you, and show favor unto you. Yahuwah lift up his face upon you, and give you shalom. And in Hebrew, the prayer for the children of Yasharel, the Aaronic prayer, to place the name of Yahuwah and his favor upon the children of Yasharel. Yevarecha Yahuwah ve'yishmerecha, Ya'er Yahuwah panav elecha vihuneka. Yisa Yahuwah panav elecha ve'yasem lecha. Shalom. All right, so we're going to finish up with Yashayahu, or Isaiah 61. The Ruach of Yahuwah is upon us, because Yahuwah has anointed us to bring good news to the meek. He has sent us to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim release to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahuwah and the day of vengeance of our Elohim, to comfort all who mourn, to appoint unto those who mourn in Sion, to give them an embellishment for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, and they shall be called trees of righteousness, a planting of Yahuwah to be adorned. And they shall rebuild the old ruins, raise up the former wastes, and they shall restore the ruined cities, the wastes of many generations, repairers of the breach. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the foreigner be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But you shall be called Kohanim, priests of Yahuwah, servants of our Elohim, shall be said of you. You shall consume the strength of the Gentiles, and boast in their esteem. Instead of your shame and reproach, they rejoice a second time in their portion. Therefore they take possession a second time in their land. Everlasting joy is theirs. For I, Yahuwah, love right ruling. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I shall give their reward in truth, and make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring in the midst of the peoples. And all who see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed of Yahuwah, that Yahuwah has favored. And I greatly rejoice in Yahuwah, my being exults in my Elohim, for he has put garments of deliverance on me. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decks himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. For as the earth brings forth its bud, as the garden causes the seed to shoot up, so the Master Yahuwah causes righteousness and praise to shoot up before all the nations. Isn't that beautiful? No longer are you called forsaken. I'm reading a little bit in chapter 62. No longer are you called forsaken, and no longer is your land called deserted, but you shall be called, I delight in her, and your land married, for Yahuwah shall delight in you, and your land be married. So, this is, there's so much good. I could keep reading forever, but I think I'll stop there, and maybe I'll read that prayer again in Hebrew, the Aaronic prayer. So I'm practicing still, so. Yevarecha Yahuwah ve'yishmerecha, Ya'er Yahuwah panav elecha vihuneka, Yisa Yahuwah panav elecha ve'yasem lecha. Shalom. Beautiful brethren, have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one, Yah willing.